As we move into this new year, I want to speak to something that often goes unspoken. For many people who are awakening, the new year can often not feel like a fresh start at all. It can feel quieter, maybe a bit emptier, and sometimes even a little disorientating. And if that's where you find yourself right now, I want you to just hear this message clearly. This doesn't mean that there's something wrong with you. It often means that something old has finished. And around this time of year, there's lots of pressure to set goals, to become a better version of yourself, to be more focused, more driven, more certain, to go on that diet, to set that fitness goal, to get that new house, that new job, that new partner. But all of these are coming from the ego. And on the awakening journey, it doesn't work like that. Awakening is the part of the human experience that is encouraging us and nudging us to find our authentic self again. So it isn't about becoming someone new, creating a new mask. If I can just be like this, then I'll be better. But it's about releasing all of those old identities, all of the layers, all of the things that were never truly you in the first place, but that were all necessary to experience in order to get you to this point. And in the beginning, as those layers start to shed, it can feel really disorientating, quite challenging, quite difficult. So if that's where you find yourself right now, just find that pause, that space, that void within. Not the empty space, but it's a fertile space. A bit like if you imagine a seed that's underground, and if you observed it, it would look like nothing is happening. But there is so much happening there. It's not stagnation. It's you coming home to you and the wisdom that you hold within. It's already there. It's not anything you have to find externally. It's not anything you have to strive for, run after, effort. If we give it space, it just naturally unfolds. Something in you is recalibrating. So if you're feeling less driven, less sure of who you are or where you're going, or more inward than usual, this message is for you. When we talk about spirituality or the awakening journey, we can be drawn to images around it, crystals, candles, rituals, meditation, prayer. And all of those things can be beautiful supports. But awakening isn't really about the aesthetic of spirituality. It really is a coming home to yourself, finding the power within you that's always been there. It's just revealing yourself to the world as we shed layer after layer of conditioning and programming. It's a totally inward journey. And at the same time, it's an expansive one. It's a journey of remembering and reclaiming who we are. We are eternal spiritual beings having a human experience. And when we step into this world, into this body, the game is that we have to forget the vastness of who we are. We were excited to do this. We learned to adapt to our families, our main caregivers, our environments, and the different systems in place. And our experiences shaped us. We develop parts that come forward to cope with things. Others step back to stay safe. So we fragment. And none of this was wrong. It was all part of the game that we chose to play. It's all part of being incarnated into this body right now. But at some point in the game, there comes the awakening. It's as if the soul is calling all of those fragmented parts back home into wholeness. So if you're feeling disorientated and not sure who you are or where you're going, but there is a deep knowing within you that something is emerging, this is the awakening process. It's not about bypassing your humanity, but it's about inhabiting it more fully, more whole, without fear. It's about gently turning towards the parts of you that learn to stay quiet, to stay small, to stay strong, to stay hidden. And it's about bringing all of those parts, the parts of us that we love and that show ourselves to the world, and the parts that we keep hidden, that we feel maybe ashamed of in some way. So if this new year feels different to you, there isn't the energy to strive towards something, and you're feeling like maybe there's something wrong with me. There isn't. It's more about listening, less about becoming, and more about remembering. You're not behind. You're right on time. You designed the whole game, and it's time for you to awaken. And this awakening journey doesn't need to force clarity, and you don't need to rush your healing, and you certainly don't need to reinvent yourself. This invitation of this moment is much softer than that. It's asking you to stay, to feel, to allow what's already shifting within you, to find your true voice, not through pushing, but through gentle presence. And if you're here listening to this, something in you already knows. You're not lost. You're returning. Welcome home.